I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. Today I'm going to be doing a book review on The Cuckoo'S Calling by Robert Galbraith. And in case you guys didn't know, this is a pseudonym for Jk Rowling. The news on this being a pseudonym for Jk Rowling broke on Sunday late afternoon, early evening-ish. And when it came out, I was super excited. I posted on Twitter saying, should I go out and buy the book immediately, or would that make me a crazy person? And a bunch of people replied saying you should go out and get it, and that they were also going out to get it. So I decided to go to my bookstore and see if they had it, and they did. So I bought it and I read it immediately. This is a murder mystery detective type novel. It follows Detective Strike, who used to be in Afghanistan and now he's back home working as a private detective. He's kind of a down and out detective. You find out pretty early on that he's in some debt and he doesn't really get a lot of work. But one day John Bristow comes to his office saying that he is the brother of the famous supermodel Lula, and Lula recently had died by falling off her balcony, and the police had said that it was a suicide, but her brother doesn't believe it was, so he hires Strike to investigate his sister's death and to find out what really happened. This book wasn't really that popular before it came out there. This was actually Jk Rowling. Most of the reviews on places like Amazon and Goodreads and even like Publishers Weekly and things like that, they all were pretty positive, so I was really excited to pick this up. I like mystery novels, so I figured I would like this one as well. I found this book really entertaining. I finished it within a couple of days. Part of that is because of the booktubeathon. I really like Detective Strike, and I like the backstory going on in his life. I won't really say too much about it, but as Strike is investigating this murder, you also are finding out things about him and what's going on in his life, and he has a very interesting backstory, which was fun to see get revealed over the course of time. This book isn't really like super action-packed or anything like that, but no mystery novel really is. Most of the time what you're doing is you're following the detective or the main character around as clues are being compiled and witnesses are being interviewed, and you are just sort of getting all this information, and then usually like the last 100 pages or so are really where it draws you in because you've gotten all the information and the detective is usually putting the pieces together, so you're starting to put the pieces together. And I just always really like mystery novels because you read them and you try to figure out who did it and if you were right. Now I wouldn't say that this book is like super amazing or anything like that. This is definitely not on like an Agatha Christie level at all. I'm not someone who is super great at guessing endings to books or movies or anything like that. Usually I just have like a very vague theory, but even still I found this to be a little bit predictable, or I don't know if I would necessarily say predictable, but when the ending happens I was just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like there wasn't anything surprising about it. So if you're someone who wants like some big twist ending or big surprise at the end, this isn't really going to give that to you. But if you enjoy mystery stories, this is definitely one to pick up because it is solid writing, because again, it's Jk Rowling. She is just a master of description and character development. And a couple of people have asked me, like, if you didn't know that Jk Rowling had written this book, would you have picked it up? And to that I say I probably wouldn't have picked it up right away. And I mean, I'd never heard of it before, but if I had heard of it, it probably would have been a book that I would have picked up otherwise. If you are someone who wasn't completely sure if you wanted to pick up this book or not, if you weren't sure if you were going to enjoy it, I would just say if you enjoy mystery novels or mystery stories, this is definitely a book to check out. If you are going into this hoping for some sort of Harry Potter-like experience, that's not going to happen because, again, it's a completely different genre. But I'm also someone who doesn't think that should ever be something you're expecting when you're reading any of Jk Rowling's future books unless she writes another, like, fantasy series. I gave this a 3.5 stars because, again, I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it to anyone who likes mystery novels, and I probably will be picking up the other books in this series, or at least the next book in this series, whenever it actually comes out. So yeah, those are my thoughts on The Cuckoo'S Calling. If you have read this book, feel free to let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below, or if you're just interested in the book or have questions on it, feel free to leave those comments as well. Let me know if you are planning on picking up the book or if you're going to wait or anything like that. So yeah, that's all I have for now, and thanks for watching.